Good morning. Happy Thursday for those of you who don't know what day it is. I've already experienced some people that didn't know. That's why I thought I'd share that. I'm here for those who want to join me. I'm going to see if I can share me out so people can find me. So, there I am. We see one. Good morning. There we are. Who's here? Wendy. Always Wendy first. C. Hi, C. Good morning. Good morning, you two. What a fun play group. I see a couple more, too. We're up to 4. I'm really trying. You can see I'm distracted. I want to at least... I'd like to share this out to my page real quick if I can find it. Can't find anything because I can't see. Now I can. I'm so stubborn. I want my perfect vision back. All right, you guys, what's up? Hi, John. Good morning. Who else is here? Let's see. I have my sleepy face on. I apologize. I'm tired. How about you guys? I'm tired, but I'm calm. Hi, Terry. It's been kind of a busy, well, I think I'm catching up from having all those kids, too. So it's been kind of a busy time, but it's okay. It's okay, because I'll rally. It's all about calm seas today. I'm actually in a I'm tired, but I'm really calm. I'm really in a very peaceful place, so I'm bringing peaceful presence today. That's my job. The world is crazy. The world is crazy. I sometimes my phone likes to bring up things, headlines, and I'm just swiping them away today. I'm like, yeah, yes, it's crazy out there. It's a crazy world. I need some time to just be in my space. So everything is okay right here, right now. Right here, right now. I'm safe. My world is safe. Everything's okay. Everyone's okay. Right here, right now. Bring it back. Bring it back. Do you hear? It's like, bring it back into the moment. Is everything okay with you? Is your world pretty good? Do you got food on the table? Do you got a roof over your head? It's okay. And then we'll go out and save the world later. Let's see, we got Wendy and Terry. I see you guys are having conversations. That's good. You've been tired for days. I know you have, Wendy. I hope they get that straightened out with you too. Let's figure out what's going on with that old gallbladder and get it taken away and get your energy back. Sorry, I'm a little dry. I haven't had my water intake yet this morning. Who else? Scarlett. Hello, Scarlett. I love seeing all these faces this morning. Lauren, nice to see you back. So what's going on, you guys? What's going on in your world? I wish we could all gather. Sometimes I'm like, I get this sweet little room. I love tea in the morning. You guys can have coffee, whatever. To be in the same space at the same time would be so cool. To just be able to find a place and just sit down together and have a real heart-to-heart. I want to hear your voices. Sometimes I get tired of just hearing my own. I just heard the song Everything is Beautiful. I just heard a song and it really, I actually posted it in one of the groups. I'm going to post it some more. And it talks about, I hope that when I have a son, it's actually about all of the unrest and the racism that's going on. And she's talking about having a son and hoping that someday that son can go out into the world and feel safe and that she doesn't have to pray every time she sends her son out. And so it was very touching. So I'm kind of still in that energy. I don't think that we think about it often. And I think that it's an important conversation for me to come in here every day. I know it's called the playground, but the playground is all about bullies. The playground can also be about racism. It can be about some children being treated differently than others because of their skin color, because of their standing in the community, their parents standing in the community. I went through that a lot. That form of racism, of being the little poor child with the clothes that weren't all that great and the old sneakers and the hand-me-downs, and always feeling like those kids that had all the cool stuff, you know, that were all dressed to the T and had little girls had their little ribbons. If the teacher was going to call in someone, they would call in them, or they would ask them to do things, and I always felt like, you know, like, so I kind of get it. I do get it, what it feels like to be, but I don't have the fear, and that's where I think that's what gets me. I'm not afraid of walking down the street. I don't get stopped. You know, I'm just this white girl. I got a red Dodge Journey. It's I think I've been stopped by a police officer. Maybe it hasn't been, knocking on wood, I haven't been stopped in probably 27 years. I don't raise any red flags. And so I'm not really concerned necessarily about driving down the street, about walking down the street. I'm not that concerned about my children. As long as they keep themselves in the right, you know, they're not doing anything horrible, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be okay walking down the street mostly. I worry about this reverse racism. Sometimes I worry that if there's too much violence, that sometimes people target, you know, anybody can get targeted for their skin color, but not like these Black Americans. You know, they're highly intelligent. I've been really spending a lot of time on this. My kids have been bringing me to a point of hyper awareness, of spending a lot of time about where I am. Where am I? Do I carry some racism in my heart? Do I carry some judgment? Am I not? I think it's more like I didn't realize how serious it was. It wasn't in my face all the time. I didn't realize how much fear is involved in just taking a walk to a convenience store, or just going to the library, or driving down the street, you know, and getting stopped by a police officer and thinking, I might die. You know, like I've got an expired tag on my car, and I might actually die because of this, you know. Those are things that we don't, even though I was raised poor and I have my areas where I felt like I maybe wasn't treated as well as some other kids, I was never afraid. I never had to go to school and be scared. So I'm really spending some time. Hi, Chetta. I'm really spending doing some deep diving on this. Like when we first started the playground, the deep dive, jumping into the water and holding the breath for a long time. But for me, it's like this deep, going way inside of me to my ancestors. Yes, of course, I know I have some Native American blood in me, just a tiny little bit, but it's enough. And I really relate to that part of me. But I was born in this skin with this blondie reddish hair. And so I've had privilege just because of that. I may not have been wealthy. I may not have been, you know, I grew up in kind of a rough circumstance, but I wasn't afraid. So, and I take responsibility. I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. I take responsibility for my ancestors, for the things that they did, the atrocities that they did. More than likely, somewhere back in my history, there has been a slave owner. So I'm willing to come forward now. I used to say, well, I wasn't alive back then, so I don't want to have to take any responsibility for this. I think that's the wrong way to do it. I think that we all have to stand up and say, you know what? We all carry the energy of our ancestors. That's the truth. We all carry the energy of our ancestors. It's something that we are constantly trying to transmute. We're constantly trying to take those negative things, those of us who are light workers especially. We know that we're alchemists, that we are here to take that energy of generations past, that all of these atrocities, that finally we get to a place where these cycles can come to an end. You know that in your own life. I knew when there was a time, I came to a place in my own life where I said, okay, I'm out of this relationship. My kids are not going to be, they're no longer going to experience this kind of violence and hatred in our home. And it was the end of a cycle of generations. My mother never, it was not only, okay, let me clarify that. She got away, my parents separated, they were married and divorced twice. And so she tried to get us away from it, but she never fell in love. I remember one man who I really dearly thought I was only like 6 or 7. He gave me a doll for Christmas. He used to buckle our seatbelts. Nobody buckled our seatbelts before he cared. He cared, and she didn't stay in that relationship, and I remember being kind of hurt by that. So I never experienced that kind of love as a child. So not only did I break the cycle by getting out of an abusive marriage, but I fell in love, truly fell in love. And that was the point where something in my lineage, my ancestry changed. Suddenly it was like, oh, what's that? So on a deeper level, I'm aware that it's time for us all. Those ancestors are no longer here to say anything unless they've come back. Probably all of us were part of that too. We're the ones in physical form right now. We're the ones that need to stand up and say, no matter what your skin tone is, we need to stand up and say, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for what my ancestors did. Truly, I was a part of that. And I'm sorry. And I'm sure I was a part of, my ancestry was a part of some horrible atrocities done to them too. I've got Scottish blood in me. I'm sure English, a lot of English, there's all kinds of stuff. So I'm sure that we all had atrocities done to us, or our ancestors had horrible things done. None of us, we've all gone through, we've done horrible things, and we've experienced horrible things in past lives, and our ancestry, it's all in us. That's all I'm trying to say. So instead of sitting around trying to place the blame and say, well, it's not my fault, I'm just going to say, you know what? I'm willing to take the blame. I'm willing to say I'm sorry. I'm willing to stand up and say, I'm done. I'm done with all of this energy. It's time to stop this cycle of hatred and racism. It's time to look at one another as human beings, as all one, as connected, and change the lens that we look at through. I look through the lens of love, because the rest of it is truly through the lens of fear. We've grown up afraid that we're not going to have enough. Scarcity, we're not going to have enough. If we treat each other as equals, there won't be enough to go around. That's baloney, total baloney, but that's what humanity for eons has been stuck in. So that's my soapbox today. I want us to open up that conversation. I love that Sharon is doing these programs. I know Terry introduced it the other day on hers, and more the Comfy Couch. It's all about opening up a dialogue. Let's talk about it. Let's not just sit and be quiet and just think that it's going to go away this time. Let's talk. So that's my version of it. Think a little more deeply. Take more responsibility. There was a time, it goes really deep for me, because there was a time about a year ago when I suddenly realized that I was still carrying, and all of us, we still carry guilt of the death of Jesus even, and I don't know what you don't have to believe you don't have to be a Christian. You just have to know that this man came here as a teacher, as an incredible teacher, to teach us what we are all capable of. And then he was hung on a cross, like with nails in his hands and feet. How horrible is that? And our ancestors, I might have been a part of that. And so I felt like I carried some guilt. I was trying to dig deeply and go, okay, why do I feel so guilty about everything? I want you guys to think about that too. It's kind of the flip side. We're empaths, so we tend to carry a guilt. We are so guilty. It's everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's something that's totally unrelated to anything that we could ever even think about doing, and yet I raise my hand. I'm like, well, that must have been somehow my fault. Everything's my fault. How many of you can relate to that? Hi, Becky. How many of you can relate to the idea that, or to the sense of, as an empath, that you take the weight of the world on your shoulders and it's always our fault? And so the flip side of that is letting go of that too. You gotta let go of that guilt. That too is a lower vibrational energy. So in the process of us standing up and saying, hey, I'm sorry for all of these horrible things, truly sorry. What can I do to help to make it better? I'm letting go of my guilt too. I'm stepping out of that lower vibrational energy. So, and it really does work. It feels good on us too. So it's a double fold. It's part of the healing. We apologize and we heal. We let go. Does that make sense? Let's see where you guys are, and I can't see without these funny glasses. Maggie, hi. I see a new name. Hi, Chetta. Gary Smith, my uncle. I don't know if you stuck with us, but I love it when you pop in. Kim Chemistry, nice to see you. Everything is beautiful. Terry, that is an incredible song. Giving a reading in about an hour, Lauren. Very good. I peek in on you when you do your singing. I think it's very interesting the way that you channel. We don't know until we know. That's exactly right. My mother was Polish, so I was raised with a poor mindset despite being well off due to my father. Yeah, I think that we carry that from our ancestry, don't we? I know people who never went through the depression, and yet they will save everything and be so careful with every single penny because they're so afraid it's going to go away again. There's that fear again. Scarcity brings fear. And even though in society standards it makes perfect sense to make sure that you're putting money in this and putting money in that and doing all these things the way society says, get your college education, make a lot of money, do all these things, even though we've got, it's the root of it is all fear. It's true. I know you might not like to hear that, but it's true. It's all fear. It's not going to go away. There's enough to go around. The planet honestly has enough for everyone. There really is enough for everyone. We just have to play nice. We just have to be willing to share. Stop hoarding. Stop trying to. Why does anybody need $1 billion in the bank? You can never spend $1 billion in 10 lifetimes, maybe more. Like, why do you need that much money in the bank? I don't get it. I don't get it. My needs are always met. My needs are always met. I live in a world that's very different from when I was young. When I was young, I didn't believe that there was ever enough, and there was never enough. And when you are in the mindset of scarcity, $100 is gone like that. And when you move into the mindset of abundance, $100 will last for a really long time. It really is. So in that experimentation that I've been doing for years trying to figure this out, it's like, okay, wait a minute. I got more control over this than I thought I did. I thought that it was just, you come into money, you go out of money. It's all gone to the bills, and then you're like struggling, and then you come into it, and then you're paying the bills, and then it's gone. It's not that. What I've been hearing for the last, I'm going to repeat this. I've repeated it a number of times. Energy is the new currency. The energy, let me do that the right way. The energy of love is the new currency. So when you hold yourself in that higher vibration, you're literally in receiving mode. When you get yourself out of the negativity, away from all of the scarcity people, away from the fear, scarcity comes out of fear. It all comes out of fear. When you change yourself, your lens from fear to love, suddenly whatever you need just seems to come. Somebody might give it to you, and that's okay. You just feel like, I gotta have this, and then all of a sudden somebody says, I got this and I don't need it anymore. Do you want it? And you're like, sure. Like the universe gives us in all kinds of ways. You can't just expect a winning lottery ticket. You just have to be willing to open your eyes, get yourself into receiving mode, and accept it in whatever way it comes. Whether it's an amazing offer, job offer, whether it's I don't know, but it just works for me, and that's the way it works. It's the law, truly. It's a spiritual law, the law of attraction. You put yourself into receiving mode by holding your vibration high, by picking up that penny off the ground and saying thank you, being full of gratitude. Thank you for that penny, because to the universe, a penny is the same as $1 million. There's no difference. So you just have to say, well, thank you for that penny. Be thankful for everything that you have. Every day I walk through this house and I touch the walls and I say thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for this little house. It feels so good here. I walk through the woods. Thank you, trees. Thank you for the air I'm breathing. Just get yourself it changes everything. It's like suddenly I can't be in scarcity mode anymore, because when you're in gratitude, the fear is just gone. You can't hold it anymore. So, yes, be the one. Thank you, John. Be the one to break the cycle. We are doing it. I'm watching these kids. They're breaking the cycle. They're breaking the cycle of hatred and scarcity. We are in such, I keep saying that, like the universe is not giving us subtle little wake-up calls anymore. It's like, you're going to do this now. Like, we've given you enough time to be easy. Now you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And so it's happening in a grand scale through the virus, through this racism, all the things that are going on with that. There is no more tiny little, it's like, no, you're going to get it all at one time. It's time. We got to get through this. We are ready to move forward as the human race, and it's time for us to make this happen. Let's see. Maggie Svaling. I bet you're Wendy's friend. Nice to see you. Becky Beckner. I think I said hi. If I didn't, say hi again. Lillian, thank you for popping in. Yeah, Lauren, my mother did grow up poor. It's difficult when our parents or ancestors, especially, many of us are still in that mode of our parents or grandparents went through the Depression. So that can really, $100 goes fast if you're looking for a quick fix. It's true, Lauren. Once you stop looking for a quick fix, money sticks around a lot. It does. Exactly right. Exactly right. Just be still. Don't get yourself. Worrying is asking for what you don't want. So if all you do is sit around and worry about how you're going to pay a bill or how you're going to do this or how you're going to do that or whatever, you're actually attracting scarcity. I can't talk about it enough. We could do a whole show on just scarcity mode. Never chase money, Scarlett. You're right. Maggie is your Facebook friend. Very cool. Wendy, I love that you're pulling people in. So, what is this going on? 10 o'clock. I've already preached on 2 or 3 things. Let's go into a lighter subject for a few minutes. Let's be easy. Somebody come up with something. What would you like to imagine today? Where would you like to go? I'm going to sit here. I'm going to get out of my own way for a second. The ego's got to step aside. See if we can bring about some sweet energy. It's starting to fill the building. You can always tell. Like, okay, thank you. Lots of energy around the eyes all of a sudden. It's what I've been getting all week. When we do these clearing exercises, there's a lot of energy going. We always have this third eye stuff going on. We keep talking about we want to see more through our third eye. But oops. Didn't silence my phone again. But I keep getting this energy. They work through these sessions, and they've been doing it for a long time. My team, your team, we all have the same team. The eyes of love is what I keep getting. It's actually my physical eyes learning how to see things differently. Because we're going through cellular changes. You realize this, that yes, at a spiritual level, we're growing in leaps and bounds, but our cells, our bodies are also evolving very, very quickly right now. And so in these exercises that they give me, it's like they're like, okay, this is where we're going to work today. So we're going to work on these eyes. We're going to work on the healing eyes, the eyes of love. Being able to look at people differently. And if we could just share that with other people, if everyone on the planet had an upgrade in the eyes where they didn't see just the skin, stop looking at just what's on the outside. Let's see. Yes, Maggie. Okay, I'm trying to keep up a little bit. So we will focus energy on the eyes today, on seeing one another as we are connected. Hi, Eric Elliott. I thought that was you. Seeing one another through the eyes of love, through like the x-ray. Have you ever seen, I keep thinking about, there was a video on Facebook that got passed around last year, probably every year. And it shows, I think it was almost a commercial maybe, but it shows people, they're on a stage and they're behind a curtain and it's showing their x-rays, and people will be hugging or they'll reach out and take hands or whatever behind the screen, and all you see is the x-ray of their bodies. Have you seen that? And then when they come back out around, it'll be people of different colors. It'll be maybe, instead of thinking that it was a man and a woman behind the screen kissing each other, you'll find out that it's 2 women or 2 men, or that 2 children were hugging behind the screen and we thought they were just normal children playing. When they came back around, it was a child that was of average, IQ, I don't know how you would say that, and then a child with Down syndrome that were playing together. It was showing that within the body, we're all exactly the same. We all have all these bones. We all have all this stuff, all the same stuff inside of us. It's just the shell, the outer shell. I thought it was beautiful. I'll find it and see if I can pass it around because it was a really beautiful video. Just to show us that inside we're all the same. Why are we paying so much attention to what's on the outside? Even race and cultures, and it's important to have cultural differences. It's important. I think that that's important for me to say, is that all of this diversity makes it more beautiful. Who wants everybody to look exactly the same anyway? Who wants to be, if we were all just walking around being exactly the same, the world would be such a boring place. We have different cultures. They dance differently. They pray differently. We have different gods. We have different ways to cook. We like different foods. We have different types of dancing. We have different kinds of music. Doesn't that make the world a more interesting place? God was like, I'm going to split myself into 1 billion pieces, and each one of those pieces is going to have a completely different makeup, and each one of them, as far as their soul is, they're all going to go out there and they're going to be exactly whatever they want to be. And how cool is that? Like, that's cool that I get to experience life in 1 billion different ways. And then for some reason we come to the earth and we're like, we want everybody to be exactly the same. You're different than me. My cat and dog have been the most incredible lesson to me this week. The cat looks at that dog and is like, I'm all calm and cool and zen, and you're bouncing off the walls, and I don't care for that energy, so I'm just going to smack you every chance I get. They're different from each other, and they're learning how to understand each other better, and she is learning slowly. As she looks at that dog, she's moving in closer, and she's trying to understand her, and she's trying to accept her for her differences. And isn't that what we're all trying to do right now? Let's just be the dog and kitty instead of just immediately jumping out and trying to hurt. Can we just slow down? Come here, baby. Can we just slow down? She knows I was talking about it. Slow down and just learn to celebrate our differences a little bit. Yes, I get a kitty kiss while we're talking. Thank you so much for that kitty kiss. She heard me, sweet baby. Let's see. The song is called Those Eyes. Is that the one that I was talking about? Those Eyes. I don't think that's the one I was talking about. It doesn't sound right. I think it's called My Son. If I Have a Son. Let me see. I got to catch up. Those eyes have seen a lot. Oh, those eyes have seen a lot of love, but they are never going to see the kind of love that I had with you. I'm crying. That's beautiful. Focus on love, Terry. You're exactly right. Focus on love. It's that easy. Just stop focusing on fear. Anything that comes that's lower vibrational is fear. Turn off that fear for a little while. That's all. And then, you guys, I was listening to this video that came across one of them yesterday. You're sitting on me, babe. That said that there was a black man talking, and it was such a powerful video. He is so intelligent in the way that he was looking at it, and he really taught me to spend a little more time inside of myself, looking at what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. But his main point was, can you, if you are a white person, because a black person cannot do the same thing that a white person can do. If you are a white person and you are against racism and you don't believe in racism and you want to see a change, can you go to one person? Can you change their way of thinking? One person who is racist, can you work on that one person and try to help them to open up? Because if every one of us, he said something that really, really brought it home for me. If a white person sees a black person as less than human, then that black person can never go to that white person and try to teach them anything, because that person is looking at them as an animal. They don't respect them, so they can't. So it's not like they can go to them and say, "Well, listen, I'm intelligent. Listen to me talk. I have a voice, just like you do. I have all of this incredible intelligence inside of me that I want to share with you." They're looking at him like, "You're just not human." How horrible is that? I never thought about it that way. So in this time, just because we're white, we can't sit back and just be like, well, this isn't my problem. Yes, it is my problem. I need to take responsibility for this because I am a white girl, because I have a voice, because people listen. Sometimes. A few of you listen when I talk. So I need to stand up and say, okay, I can make a difference here. And so can you. So I just feel like that's really important. I'm really harping on this today because it's so in my face. Like I need it to be heard. I need people to hear that it is our responsibility to make a difference here. They've tried everything else. You know, Black Americans have gone through so much for so long, and they keep trying to come out into the world and say, look at me. You know, we even had a Black president who stood up there and said, look, I'm intelligent, I'm educated, I'm a human being. Give me basic rights. These people deserve to be treated equally. And yet, even then, still, I will sit with people who are so racist and they think that all of this stuff that's going on right now came out of that presidency. I'm not even going to harp on that. I'm like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. So, please, you can make a difference. That's all I'm saying is get involved in some of these comfy couch sessions. Let's start talking. Let's start having dialogue. Let's start trying to figure out how we can make a difference. And I'm going to get off my couch. It's now off the comfy couch for a few minutes. It's now 10 o'clock, and we want to have a nice visualization and spend some time in peace. I called it, I think, Peaceful Waters today, because I do feel like with all of the unrest, what I'm getting from people is that they are so sensitive and triggerable. Those of us who are light workers and empaths and if you've got any kind of sensibility at all, this energy that's around us is very, very difficult for us to be around. We can run from it. It's like I want to just hide in my house. I don't want to be around all of that. I live in a little southern city in Tennessee, and I see rebel flags everywhere. I see all kinds of, there's a place even in the next town over called Rebel Corner, and it's filled with all of that rebel stuff. Yes, it's part of our history. It's important to remember our history. It's also important that if you are doing something and displaying something that is bringing about pain and what's the best word for it? It's definitely triggering a lot of people. When do we let go? When do we stop? When do we stop? If we know that those flags and those items are causing people to remember all of the atrocities, isn't it time for us to step it up? Say, I don't need that stuff anymore. The South is not going to rise again. We're done with it. That war was fought. It's done. It's history. Let's step beyond it finally. That's my stand. But the point was, I live in an area that has a lot of that going on, so it can be very difficult. The energy can be very difficult for me. So sometimes I have to retreat. It's okay to retreat. We're going to retreat for a little bit. We're going to work on the energies that have been affecting us for just a few minutes. We're going to clear some of that energy. The reminder is, and it's coming through strong, the reminder is that we're right here, that we're surrounded by this beautiful energy all the time of protection that keeps us, if we'll look to it, then will help us to hold up a higher vibration. We'll rise up higher than all of that stuff that's going on. It's down there. Let's be the observer for a little while. Let that stuff just kind of do what it's doing. Know that we can rise above, get a break when we need to. That we have this beautiful team, each one of us, all of us. It's all the same. Not one of us is better than the other. We all have the same beautiful team. And they love it when we turn to them for strength and for love and to remind us of who we really are. Remember who you really are. Remember who you really are. They just keep saying that over and over again. Remember. Because through us remembering and holding that higher vibration, all of this racism is a symptom of a bigger disease. It's the disease of amnesia. We don't remember who we are. Humanity has forgotten the truth. And so energetically, people will resonate with one another. The heart, I have to listen for these words. Energetically, when we hold ourselves in a higher vibration, those who have not yet awoken to remember the truth of who they are, their hearts will open up, will resonate with the energy that we carry. And as we walk through those places, Rebel Corner, downtown Gatlinburg, these places where the energy is so negative and so judgmental. I see these t-shirts and it's like, my kids were here over the weekend and they're like, and I was like, no, please don't fire at these people. Don't get all, because they're just misunderstanding. They've forgotten who they are, and getting angry is not going to make it better. It's just going to feed the fire. But as we're around these people, we can remember that we stand in a place of higher understanding and ask for help. Please ask for help. Ask your guides, your angels. They're always around you. Ask the archangels, source energy, God, the creator, Jesus, whoever you want to call on. Ask for a little help. Ask, and you'll get this bubble of protection around you, and it'll be okay. And then you can rise above and look down on it and say, it's going on, and I'm just the observer, and I'm okay. The crow's nest, I wrote about that. The crow's nest. Get up in the crow's nest, and spiritually, don't really do it if you can't, but like, get up in the crow's nest and look down on it. This is all experiences. These people are all just having experiences. It's all my experience. My soul is experiencing life as it is now, and yet I don't have to be a part of it. I can rise above it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get in the crow's nest. Let's be out on the ships today. Take a big breath. Relax yourself. Let your arms just dangle today. Let your feet touch the floor. If you want to join me in a meditation, now's the time to get yourselves all comfy, cozy. You see those eyes? That's great. Big breath. Lots of energy moving all of a sudden. I can feel it. It's different. Hold on. There's energy in my ears for some reason. I'm trying to sort it out. I get distracted easily. Like we're being given the gift of hearing and sight to see and hear the world differently. And I love that idea. We are stepping out ahead of a lot of others so that we get this gift of seeing and hearing the truth instead of all of the stuff that's swirling around underneath us. So let's be in that space right now. Let's rise above it. So I would like you to envision yourself. You can bring your little child in. Children love this adventure. Go down inside and say, hey, little one, come on out to play for a little bit. And I would like you to envision yourself. I'm going to see, without looking at me today, I'm going to see if you can actually envision this little boat if I turn it around. And I want you to see yourself on your own boat. I don't know if it'll work. Get too much stuff. Can you see that boat? Let's just look at that for a few minutes. Let's make that our focal point. Let's see. That kind of works. I have interesting things to look at. I would like you to see yourself on your own boat, however you want to envision it. Climb aboard. And take a big breath. The energy is moving, so take a big breath into your lungs. Fill your heart space. Nice. Can you hear your feet? I can hear myself walking. The boards are creaking a little bit. There's ropes tying to the boat that are kind of pulling it and kind of making a creaking noise. I love that sound. I have a crew. They're running around. They're raising the sails. We're getting ready to go out to sea. Just take a big breath. Let your body relax. Close your eyes and envision yourself on that big boat, big ship, clipper. It's like a pirate ship. And the ropes are being loosened. And as those ropes, you have a number of ropes. There's 10 ropes on our boat, each one of us. And I would like you to count down with those ropes. And with each time I count down, I'd like you to take a breath, a small breath, and just feel yourself relax a little deeper and deeper each time I count. And as we count down, when we hit 1, our little boats will be ready to go out to sea. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with that, we're set free to just flow out into the ocean. The seas are calm. There's a gentle breeze. There's a little bit of rocking back and forth. Just let it float on out to sea. The skies are just a nice, gentle blue. The water is reflecting that blue. If you look down under the water, you might see some animals swimming. I see some whales. I see a little pod of whales. I see a mama whale with her baby. She brings it in close to introduce the baby to us. How sweet. And I see him blow some air. Made a puff of water, a little rainbow in the water coming up out of that whale. That was very cool. Continue to breathe easy into your chest space. Feeling the need to yawn, that's usually because there's energy going into the throat chakra. I feel energy going into the third eye, into the eyes, down the crown. Can you feel the weight on your head? Picture your little one on that boat with a crown. He or she, they love to play king or queen. So they're out there on that boat watching the animals. They have a scepter in their hands and they're making a little noise with it, laughing, having fun. And as that's going on, your body is receiving a clearing. We're asking Archangel Michael to sever and release any cords or attachments, any earthbound spirits that may be around anyone that need to be crossed over. We ask to have them just taken into the light for healing. Any soul contracts, any old karma that can be released at this time, we ask to have that taken from us. If you're ready to release anything, you can just open your hands and let it flow. We have a whole team. I always hear 500,000. So many angels around us right now working with us to keep us clear, to lighten our load, to help us to integrate energy, to help us to get to a place where we are truly alchemists as we go through this world. We're transmuting light from darkness. It's a beautiful job. It's all about releasing all of this heavy energy, the darkness, so that you can move higher and higher and higher into that light. So the energy is right in the crown right now, and it's really, really powerful, clearing away any clutter there, and into the third eye, and into your real eyes, giving you that eyes of love, the new way of seeing the world. I should say the old way, remembering the truth of who you are. Down into the throat. Big breath in the throat. That was good. There's a lot of releasing going on, a lot of growth. Really beautiful energy in the throat space. I hear laughter on your little ships. I hear children playing. What else do you see while you're out there? Dolphins are jumping alongside. That's what you're laughing at, is those silly dolphins. They love to ride. They love to jump alongside of a ship. They're so interested in people. Big breath into the heart space. beautiful light energy right on down through the energy of Source. The most beautiful, perfect energy there is pouring through you right now. Into the solar plexus. Breathe deeply into your belly. Nice. Lots of energy moving. Letting go. Focus on letting go. Let go of those things that aren't serving you anymore. You don't need to stay in that space of loss, in that space of fear, scarcity. Let it go. We are all abundant creatures. We are all children of the King. Down into the second chakra, releasing from older relationships that didn't work. You can let go of all that energy. You carry that energy around with you forever unless you know to release it. So let's let it go. We don't need to hold on to that anymore. Open yourself up to better relationships, to deeper relationships, to relationships that will feed your soul. In equal measure. I had that reminder in my ear, in equal measure. Get into these relationships where the give and the take are equal. Perfect. Sacred union. And the energy is now moving down into the root. It's beautiful. So much clearing. Guys are letting go so much. It's so beautiful. I can't even describe how it feels. And the energy is now going down the legs, over your knees, healing energy, whatever it is that you need right now. Archangel Raphael is there to bring healing and peace into your bones, into your cells, into your organs, every part of you. A sense of knowing that all is well. I am that I am that I am. I am. Say that, I am. The energy is coming back up through the feet, and it's just shooting right up through every cell of your body. Your light being is incredibly joyful right now inside of you. Get to know that light part of you better. Spend more time there. Let go of the ego. Step aside ego. Spend more time in that light, the part of you that is so perfect. Right back up through and slow through. There's a little more clearing in the throat chakra for a few of you. Feel it draining, kind of clearing out. This beautiful light energy that's going back up through is just blasting right through any blocks of energy, anything that's holding you back. Each one of your chakras is spinning beautifully like a rainbow coming right up through you, right up through your crown. Clearing away anything that's left there, any stagnant energy. And then it shoots right out of your crown, and I'd like you to focus that energy on the earth, on anyone who needs healing. If there's anyone that you know of, anyone that needs an opening, an eye opening, needs to wake up, needs to remember the truth of who they are. If you know anyone that's still in that place of hate or darkness or fear, please focus your energy on them right now. The heart is just lit right up. That's crazy. Big breath. Take in a big breath. You're working hard right now. It's beautiful. Integrate all that new energy that you just received. It will take a little bit of time. Some of you got a lot of clearing today and a lot of healing, and so it can make you feel more tired as you're going through that. Drink a lot of water. Take good care of yourselves today. Eat right. Take a nap if you need to. It's okay. Find yourself a hammock. Now I want you to survey. I want your little child. One more exercise here. We got a little more time. I would like your little child to climb up to the top of that tower right in the middle of the boat. There's a crow's nest up there. I want you to climb right up there. Can you feel the ropes in your hands and on your feet? Hear the creaking sound it makes? I see a crow up there. It's up there waiting for you. And as you get up to the top, I want you to survey. I want you to look around your ship. See all of those crew members down there working, keeping your ship clean, keeping it working properly. They're taking care, they're sewing up some holes in the sails. They're mopping the deck. They're laughing. They're singing. They're enjoying their work. And you're there above. That's your team. You have a team always. You have a crew. You have angels and guides and loved ones, ancestors. Your ancestors want you to know that they're there too. Always. We never fully leave you. Even when you can't see us, we're still here. Those loved ones are so close. We're helping you through this. You're never alone. Can you see them? Look down and everything is well. Look across the water, the expanse of the water. See how beautiful, see how perfectly everything is working together. You don't need to be a part of that clutter and that work. You can rise above. You can be up ahead, up above it, looking down, whenever you so choose. Remember that even though you're still in physical form, you are a beautiful, perfect spirit, and you can rise above all of the chaos anytime you like. Just sit there and breathe for just 1 minute. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the sights. Big breath. Wow, beautiful energy. That was great. Nice shift of energy right there. And now I want you to call that little one back in. Have him climb back down. Let's count up this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now that child is fully back inside of your heart space, happy to be there, joyful, smiling ear to ear. Says thank you. Thank you for giving me this playtime today. Thank you for clearing out your energy and for creating this beautiful nest for me to climb back into. And you can slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes and bring yourself back into awareness. Open up those eyes. Let's see where your eyes are now. How does that feel? To be centered, to be grounded, to feel at peace? Give yourself a break for just a little while. And as you're waking up, as you're coming out of it, remember that you can come back here anytime you like. You've got that crew, that team that wants to clear things up, that wants to make things easy. You're meant to have an easy life. This work that we do does not have to be difficult. It does not have to be hard on us. It's meant to be easy. That's why we have this beautiful team with us. They're helping us along the way. You're meant to be joyful and happy and share that beautiful energy out with the world. Isn't it amazing? It amazes me always that the most important thing that we can do is to remember who we are and then to go into the world carrying that energy of joy and pure, unadulterated love. Like truly, we're just created from out of love. That's who we are. At the root of us, we can make say a million different things about ourselves, but the root of who we are is that love energy. And so we're reminded, carry that love energy into the world and share it. And you're safe. You've been wrapped in this beautiful bubble of protection. anytime you feel the need to have that bubble fortified in any way, just ask. Archangel Michael says, oh, I love to do that for you. I'm here always. They don't have any time. They don't, as far as they're not held back by time in any way, these archangels. They're here for each one of us. And they come right out of your heart space. So just call them and say, I'm in the middle of a crowd. I'm feeling really crummy right now. This is difficult here. Will you wrap me up in your bubble of love? And he's like, boom! Johnny on the spot. Of course I will. Of course I will. That's what he says. So enjoy that. Enjoy that you have that around you always. I'm going to let you guys get going. I hope that you're feeling peaceful and ready to get out in your day to share your light with the world. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you to our angels and our guides, archangels, your ancestors that joined us, to your Holy Spirit, higher selves, to your little children. Thank you to all those little children for coming out to play. I'm so grateful to each one of you today. Please take good care of yourselves. Get lots of rest. Do whatever you need to do to be good to yourself. What's your body telling you? Listen to yourself. You got to love you first. You got to love you first. Love you first, and then the rest follows. Take good care of yourselves today. I will be back. Let's see, today is Thursday, so 7 o'clock tonight Eastern time will be Forever After That, and Terry Angel will be on with me. So I hope that you come and enjoy that show. And in the meantime, get out there and enjoy yourselves. I love you so much, and I will talk to you again later. Bye.